Hello, and welcome to the final episode of The Wind Waker. We have a bit of a chunk of health to have to recover as we ascend this long stairway after our fight with Phantom Ganon last time, that went a little bit pear-shaped at times. But oh boy, was it worth it for the reflection battles. Of course, there's a few more monsters waiting for us to try and stop us. Not going to happen though, because Moblins at least can just eat a boomerang. And these dark nuts can eat a light arrow. When I can aim properly. How did that one miss? Seems it's better to aim for the belt. And there's our full health again. Did you see that behind us there? Try to sneak attack me, did you, Mr. Moblin? I left that orb in case I needed more health and magic than I could get up top here. 2 lost dark nuts, and I try to be fancy and take them out with 1 arrow. Didn't quite work. Ah, good. Full health, full magic. Time to face Ganondorf. That's Puppet Ganon dealt with, even though it took me a while. But now it is time for one of my other favourite parts of the game, the long rope climb. I have no idea why I find this so fascinating. I think I did better in some areas of that fight, and worse in others. Mainly the first one, because that took me way too long. Good grief. Some bad shots with the arrows. The second spider form, though, that also went quite badly, because I usually end up right at his backside as he lands, so that went a bit bad. Final form, though, blimey, that was good. A little bit more luck than judgment most of the time, despite the fact I was trying to time it. At least I think I was. This final battle goes quite a bit differently compared to my first playthrough. I tried a bit more of a defensive style, waiting for Ganondorf to attack me, which meant I took quite a lot of damage while he just didn't do anything to trigger anything. This time I decided to go for a more aggressive approach, and we'll see how that turns out very soon. On the note of the fight though, I remember all too well in my youth that I used to replay these battles over and over again because it was just that good. I don't know how many times I might have timed myself doing the final battle coming up, but while flicking through my old guide after I'd finished this playthrough, I found a note I'd written way back then for beating Ganondorf in under 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure that on my test playthrough, I probably spent about 5 or 6 minutes trying to beat him, because, good lord, that went a bit pear-shaped. And yes, I almost died. Anyway, we're nearly at the top now, and there's another warp pot up here to break open. So if you need to go back for anything, you can walk back down to the one below and go out of Ganon's portal back to the overworld to get anything you need, potions and such. Of course, I've still got that half bottle of Grandma's soup to use if I need it. And I still had that fairy that we captured way back in the Tower of the Gods. So I was pretty sure I was all set. Enough words now, let's go. Well, that was an ending, wasn't it? We saved the day, defeated Ganondorf, and he turned to stone for whatever reason. Nintendo censorship, I bet. And the world is safe until someone comes and pulls the sword out of him. Am I mixing my legends there? I don't think so. Yeah, a little bit of sweet with the king dying at the end there as well, but I have no idea really. Was he already a ghost? Because he could warp around and possess a boat. So what was going on with that? I don't know. But that is it. The Wind Waker has been completed. And blimey was that quick. That was 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Roughly. Give or take a few milliseconds maybe. And that is counting the dialogue, so without the dialogue counted, that's probably 10 to 15 seconds off as well. So definitely beat my 3 minutes that I did with my childhood. And of course most definitely beat my last run. Anyway, this has been a interesting project, I suppose. Considering I recorded this all the way back in January and had planned to get it done maybe by the end of January or going through to February. This is a very long January-February period, isn't it? I was originally going to do it as a narrative of Link's story, if that makes any sense. I did a few bits of that, but I really struggled to do any of that. I struggled with this as it is. One thing I've definitely learned from this, post-commentary is not for me. Give me the live awkward things instead, because for whatever reason I can do better on the fly instead of having time to think about what to say. That's probably why, because when I trying to think of there. Hey, there's a blooper. There's no bloopers for this though, because that would have been probably an hour video in itself overall. Good gravy. Then again, most of it would have been just me messing up sentences and just absolutely failing on what I was going to say next, much like I'm doing now. You won't actually be able to hear most of that because it's probably hard to tell at times where I've stuck things back to back instead of having long pauses like I'm currently seeing on my screen here. But anyway, that is it. The game is done. And I really did have a blast recording it, because at least I could do that at night without needing to do any speaking. So I could record that as and when I needed, or could. I think I did have a few days off at some points in recording, but yes, minus some long-winded parts like the Orca training and the 500 hits. How did I manage that every time I played the game? I must have replayed the game probably 20 plus times in my youth. So Lord knows how I managed to do that every time with no problems. I was probably better at it back then, to be fair. I think my favourite part in the finale there, minus my very quick ending of it, I just smacked that A button when I heard it at that point. Crikey, I didn't think it was actually going to do that, but never mind. Yes, my favourite part is the second form of the puppet Ganon fight. When he transforms into that spider, I mean, that's kind of not really scary at all, especially when it comes down and he does that stupid face. Oh dear, that just throws me every time. It's just hilarious. Next project then, I already have something in mind, and I don't know if I'll be able to record that on the same day I'm doing this. We shall see. I might have time actually, I can do a couple there. But for now, the Wind Waker is done, everything 100%ed as far as I can tell. Almost! Minus that one chest in the Tower of the Gods that I missed and had to record several months later. I'll see you next time and leave you with the rest of the credits. Hopefully I've not been speaking too long and it's already ended. Stick around for an extra little scene at the end. Bye for now!